He used an instrument to hold open the woman's eyes and found that her retina was severely damaged. Then he listened to the fetal heartbeat and realized that the baby might not be saved either. In order to save her, George decided to perform the surgery immediately. First, he shaved the woman's hair, then made a small hole and used a drainage tube to suck out the liquid. Soon, the surgery came to the most crucial step. Just then, he heard someone shouting and yelling outside, which made George nervous and distracted. George wanted to continue the surgery, but unexpectedly, a man directly burst into the operating room. It turned out to be that wealthy second generation who had caused the accident again. And this time, his unauthorized entry into the operating room was just to find the best doctor to examine the minor wound on his sister's face. George tried to drive him out, but the wealthy second generation said that his family had invested in this hospital and demanded that his sister's wound be examined first. Otherwise, he would have George's medical license revoked. Looking at the arrogant wealthy second generation, George just wanted to get rid of them quickly so that he could continue the surgery. He glanced at the medical records and found that there was nothing serious, so he turned around to continue the operation. The wealthy second generation demanded that he stop the surgery immediately. Finally, George couldn't bear it anymore. After driving the wealthy second generation out, he changed his clothes and resumed the surgery. The drainage tube passed through the cerebral cortex and soon the liquid flowed out. The nurses took a deep breath. They had finally completed the most crucial step. As long as they continued with the subsequent procedures, the pregnant woman could be out of life danger. However, just then, someone burst in again, and this time, it was actually the hospital director. It turned out that the wealthy second generation had gone to the director. Under pressure, the director came. George turned around and wanted to leave, but the wealthy second generation threatened him again, saying that as soon as George stepped out of the door, he would end George's medical career. Facing the wealthy second generation's vexatious behavior, George chose not to show any mercy. The director tried to dissuade him, but George simply ignored him because in a doctor's eyes, nothing is more important than the patient. But when he returned to the operating room, the unfortunate thing still happened. George tried to make up for it, but it was all in vain. George's mood plummeted to the bottom. Just then, the hateful wealthy second generation found him again, and this time, the wealthy second generation actually sued George in court on the grounds of a medical malpractice.